Hello fellow human, Bella here. I'm still here in Zakynthos teaching at the Austrian Summer Academy. I teach here painting. And today I wanted to speak a little bit to all of you painters out there, especially those who want to be a painter and are beginners. I wanted to speak about shadows. And the shadows are so important in composition because they create space, they create depth. And one of the very common mistakes which I see on a regular basis is that people use black for the shadow, but a shadow, it's almost never black. In general, in nature, we rarely have pure black. When we observe nature, of course, we have pure black stones, rich black stones, but in general, when we walk through nature and we just observe the trees, the ground, we rarely see pitch black. We see dark tones. And when we observe the shadow, it's important to pay attention to the way, the shape of the shadow it's formed. What do I mean by that is that the way we observe an object, the middle tones, the shadows, the highlights, they all have an exact shape. They follow a certain shape. They are not just a spot. The same way when we observe the shadow on the floor, on the ground, this shadow has also its own shape, and this shape is different depending on where the sun is located. When the sun is exactly on top of the object, the shadows are very sharp. When the sun is on the side, the shadows are blurry and soft. But in general, when painting shadows, try to create their nature, which is tender and soft and pale. When I create shadows, I use blue, a little bit of violet, some ochre, a little bit of brown. And the shadow is darkest close to the object and gets softer and softer, getting more far away from the object. Another thing about shadow, it's something very interesting, which a lot of artists such as Salvador Dali has used. When we create a composition, we need to think of our light source. Is the light source the way we observe it? Is the light source created by us? Because when we create art, we play God. So you could have as many light sources in your design as you want to. And for example, Salvador Dali often used multiple light sources, so you have these long shadows. Observing, it's always the half of the work. When you observe very, very analytically the nature and everything around you, you are studying through your observation. And observing and studying nature, it's a large part of the work of an artist. This is the reason why I do believe that artists have a very special world view, because we are those who really study nature and the world in a very exact way. A similar way scientists study the world. And another thing I wanted to mention in terms of composition in a painting, I often, when I teach composition theory, I speak about one artwork which was created by M.C. Escher. And this artwork is, for me, one of the perfect combinations of perspective. So in that artwork, we have a forest. Somewhere in the forest, we have a puddle of mud. And in this puddle of mud, one could see the reflection of the vertical trees which are on top of that little road. And one sees trace of car going in one direction and human steps going one way and the other way. And I find it so interesting, this combination of vertical and horizontal perspective at the same composition, that mirroring of everything which we actually don't see in the puddle of mud. This is something which you can use as, for example, a person wearing sunglasses and mirroring part of the environment or something else in the glasses. Or if you do a large close-up of a portrait, you could mirror something in the eyes. You could mirror so much. If I come closer, you will see in my eyes, the olive forest around me. You could probably see the sky, parts of the sea which is on the other side. So you could see so much reflection. And one of the really special elements of composition, which is often used also, for example, in horror movie or psycho thrillers, is the absence and the presence of a human. playing with absence and presence. For example, this could be fire which is left alone and it's like finishing. You only have a little bit of smoke coming out, and you have some steps in the sand, or you have steps from a human or from an animal in the snow, or you have shadows on the wall but you don't see the person. This type of slightly mystical touch of playing with human or animal presence or absence, it's very interesting. It could be also an ashtray with a cigarette, and it's just the end of the cigarette and the smoke, it's coming still out but there's no one there. These elements of combining presence and absence are very intriguing when creating art. So you hear more from me with another olive tree talk from Greece. I wish you a lot of inspiration. Have a great day.